So in front of me, I've got something quite special. This is the alleged Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, the most interesting foldable that Samsung is said to be launching this year. So in this video, I'm going to go over everything that is currently known about it. I'm also going to be putting it side by side against the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and also cover all the latest leaks and rumors on both this Fold 8 Wide and then also on the brand new Fold 8 Ultra. Because yes, Samsung's 2026 foldables are looking very exciting. Speaking of things that are even better, we've now launched our brand new WallpaperZ online store, where you can find stunning wallpapers like this, or even this. All of our wallpapers are in stunning 8K quality. Like, just look at how good this looks. And guess what? There's no account required to download any of these packs. And we're also offering a limited time 40% discount on every single one of our packs. That's only until the end of the week. So simply go to wallpaperzapp.com to check it out. Okay, so now first off, I want to clarify what's happening with this year's Samsung foldable lineup, because things are looking a bit confusing. So the Fold lineup used to be just one model, the Galaxy Z Fold, but now we're set to be getting two models. The first being the Z Fold 8, which is set to have mostly the same design as the Z Fold 7, but with some minor changes. More on those later. However, this is set to be renamed to the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Ultra this time around. And that's because this guy, the previously rumored Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide, is set to be renamed to just the Fold 8. Personally, I don't think that's the right approach. I feel like Samsung should have named this the Fold 8 Cinema because of the wider aspect ratio, and just keep the other version as the Fold 8, as calling that the Ultra implies that we're getting some major changes, which is not actually the case here. But okay, I'll talk about the Z Fold 8 Ultra towards the end of this video. Now, let's take a closer look at this new standard Z Fold 8. So what I've got here is allegedly a dimensionally accurate case model, courtesy of my friend Sonny Dixon, that's made by case manufacturers in order to test their cases ahead of the release. We've had these kinds of 3D case models for years now, and they've always been spot on. So I do expect this to be extremely close to, if not identical, to the final version of the Z Fold 8. Okay, now as you can see, this is a very different kind of foldable, as in it's got this passport style shape that's short and wide when closed, and then once I open it up, we get this mini foldable, which is also quite wide. Now, this will definitely take some time getting used to, especially if you're coming from a traditional foldable, but I think for viewing content, videos especially, this is going to be the better option because of that wider aspect ratio when open. Another thing I think a lot of people would love about using this when fully open is using it in portrait orientation, because I feel like the typing experience is going to be perfect here, and you get a much taller and wider screen compared to a normal phone. So I do really like the versatility of this. So how does this compare to the Galaxy Z Fold 7? Well, if I put both side by side, you can see that the Fold 8 is noticeably shorter compared to the Fold 7, and also considerably wider. In fact, the Fold 8 is 81 millimeters as opposed to the Fold 7's 72.7 in terms of the width, and in terms of the height, it is 123.8 as opposed to 156.7. At the same time, it also comes with a smaller screen, a 5.4-inch display as opposed to the 6.5-inch on front of the Z Fold 7. Now, because of this much shorter form factor, you would expect you'd be able to use the Fold 8 much better in one hand, but that's actually not the case, and that's because it is very wide. So at least in my case, as you can see here, I cannot really reach the edge of the phone. Now, at the same time, when it comes to the Z Fold 7 or the Fold 8 Ultra, it's kind of a similar thing. Like, I can reach the edge, which is good, but I cannot really reach the top. So in both cases, I kind of need to do these finger gymnastics like this, and in that case, I can kind of use both in one hand. However, I gotta say the Fold 8 Wide, or just the standard Fold 8, I guess, is still more stable. So I do actually prefer using this in one hand if I'm doing these finger gymnastics, so to say. Now, let's talk about the thickness, because there's actually a considerable difference here, as you can probably see. The Fold 7, as you probably know, is super thin at just 8.9 millimeters thin. The Fold 8, however, is noticeably thicker at around 11 millimeters from my measurements. Now, if I open both of them up, then the Fold 7 is 4.2 millimeters thin, whereas the Fold 8 is 5.2 millimeters, so exactly 1 millimeter thicker. Now that's pretty thick by today's standards. However, I've got some good news because based on the latest rumors, the Fold 8 should be around 4.9 millimeters thin. So not quite as thick as our dummy unit here, so maybe there's some manufacturing issues, or I'm not really sure, but yeah, it should be a bit thinner than this. However, still thicker than the Z Fold 7, which is just 4.2 millimeters when open. Speaking of both open, when I put both side by side, you can see that there's actually a dramatic difference in aspect ratio. So the Fold 8 has this significantly smaller 7.6-inch display that's also quite a bit wider compared to the Fold 7 that has a much larger 8-inch display that's also taller. But now here's where things get quite interesting, because if I rotate the Fold 7 and then I put it above the Fold 8 like this, so that's landscape, and that's, I guess, also landscape orientation, now they actually have the exact same width, give or take. But at the same time, the Fold 7 is actually taller than the Fold 8 by quite a bit. So in this case, would you actually lose a pretty decent amount of vertical screen real estate? Now, if I turn both to their backs, we can see that the Fold 8 only has 2 camera modules as opposed to 3 on the Fold 7. So these two are set to be a main and an ultra-wide, both at 50 megapixels in resolution, as opposed to a 200 megapixel main on the Fold 7, and then a 10 megapixel telephoto and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide. However, one big advantage to this new Fold 8 is said to be the weight. You see, while the Fold 7 was already pretty light at 215 grams, the Fold 8 is said to be just 201 grams. And interesting enough, that's both what Ice Universe was saying, as well as roughly the weight of this case model, which is 199 here. But of course, this is just the Z Fold 8, right? There's also the Z Fold 8 Ultra that's rumored to be coming out this year as well. So how would that compare to the Z Fold 7? And what sort of difference will there be between the Z Fold 8 and the Z Fold 8 Ultra? Well, compared to the Z Fold 7, there are 5 rumored changes set to be coming to the Z Fold 8 Ultra. The first is the crease-free display that's set to be quite similar to what we've got on the Oppo Find N6. Now, the second difference is a brand new 50 megapixel ultra-wide up from the old 12 megapixels. The third is said to be the more powerful Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip from the current 8 Elite. Then the fourth is said to be a larger 5,000 mAh battery from the current 4400, also with faster 45 watts of charging from the current 25 watts. And lastly, the fifth change is said to be the thickness, which, despite the initial rumors that it would be getting thicker, the latest rumors are saying that it would actually be getting thinner at 4.1 millimeters thin, apparently, from the 4.2 of the Z Fold 7. Now, are these rumors enough to warrant an Ultra name? Of course not, but based on what we know so far, it is pretty clear that the Fold 8 Ultra will indeed be a superior foldable to this smaller and, I don't know, more compact Fold 8. How superior? Well, there are 4 main reasons why you would want to go with the Ultra as opposed to this standard version. The bigger display is, of course, the main reason. As I said, if you rotate the Z Fold 7 or 8 Ultra to be in landscape orientation, then the Ultra will be noticeably taller with around the same width. The other reason is for the cameras. The Ultra-wide is likely to be the same 50 megapixel sensor on both, but the Fold 8 Ultra will have that larger 200 megapixel main sensor and also the dedicated 10 megapixel telephoto. Now, that 10 megapixel telephoto is really poor, by the way, so the 200 megapixel main sensor is really the main reason to go for the Fold 8 Ultra when it comes to the camera. Then there's the thinner body, with the Fold 8 Ultra possibly being 4.1 millimeters thin when open, as opposed to 4.9 or more on the Fold 8, so pretty big difference here. And then there's a larger battery, which is rumored to be 5,000 mAh on the Fold 8 Ultra as opposed to 4,800 on the standard Fold 8. But that doesn't mean the standard Fold 8 won't appeal to anyone out there, because it will be a smaller, more portable version of Samsung's Fold. One that's also lighter at around 200 grams as opposed to 215. And it is also said to be quite a bit more affordable than the Fold 8 Ultra, and that's because the Fold 8 Ultra is rumored to start from the same $2,000 price point as the Fold 7 from last year, which would make the Fold 8 probably about a few $100s less expensive than that, since it's smaller, it has one less camera, and so on. So I think that really the main competitor to this wider Fold 8 is actually not the Fold 8 Ultra, in my opinion, but the iPhone Fold, which, as you can see, has a very, very similar form factor. And if you do want to see that side-by-side comparison, then do subscribe to the channel, because we are actually getting a much more detailed iPhone Fold case model, and we'll be doing that video very soon. So do stay tuned for that video. And until then, don't forget to check out our limited time 40% discount running on our brand new wallpaper store at WallpaperZ.com. I'm Daniel, this is ZONEofTECH, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.